Hello, this is Ed 573, Educational Leadership, and this is my video on 21st century skills and how I feel that they are very beneficial, and we need to kind of change how we run our schools to support the new ways that kids learn instead of just continuing with the 20th century. So I went through and found the 21st century skills that I thought were most relevant, and kind of I'll list some of them and then I'll just expand on the ones that I find most relatable. So for science, they have build things, apply principles across disciplines, which is huge, and develop scientific creativity. We hear creativity all day long and how we want the kids to be more creative, and so we need to develop their creativity and give them room to be creative. That sounds like common sense, but again, it doesn't happen a lot in schools. For history, these were neat. Critically analyze. We hear that word critical all the time, whether it's critical problem solving or critically analyzing something, and that just it's never going to go away. Kids need to have that skill and be able to figure out how to work that in to the school day for teachers. And I know it's not as easy as taking just a simple test anymore, but that's the challenge of teaching, and that's what we need to accept and run with. Reading, they had read written views critically, again that word critically, and then communicate clearly across media forms. That's huge. If we think about the world today and we think about how we communicate with others, it's either Facebook or Snapchat or phones, or there is, again, you're not never going to get away from talking to people on the street or whatever, but you still need to be able to communicate across multiple platforms. It's not just pencil and paper anymore. It's going to be Skyping with other communities, and that's something we did. Is we would Skype in my classroom with Antarctica, for instance, and we got to learn about the anatomy of a penguin in Antarctica looking at these penguins. And that's amazing. The kids were able to communicate with the scientists in Antarctica, and that's just something that we never would have had the ability to do before. Again, we need to give them the room to do that kind of learning. We have the skills, we have the tools. We need to learn how to appropriately use them, and then actually incorporate them in the classroom. And then for math, creative problem solving, of course, we hear that all day long. Risking failure to refine and perfect. Not everyone's favorite thing is risking failure, but very important to become better learners. And the last one is collaboration. Again, we're never going to get away from working in groups, and it's true. It just working in groups is something that you need to practice and perfect when you're younger, so that you can be a good learner and a positive person when working in a group.